Hi, Nomads. How are you? You glad to be in Gran Canaria? I realize I'm the only thing that stands between you and your cocktails now. So I will keep it pithy. I'm not representing a product, nor a service, nor a company for that matter. I'm here to represent a non-profit professional association that started in Tenerife last year, and we've grown to the whole of the archipelagos. Our mission is to foment the Web3 ecosystem in the Canary Islands. May I ask you a question first? Who among us has a crypto wallet? A crypto wallet. Oh, wow, that's quite a few. I didn't expect that many. I had a joke prepared, and now I have to go back. All right. So some of you know what we're talking about when we're talking about Web3. We're talking about what exactly? I see some blank stares. Web3 is the next evolution of the internet. Internet started a while back with, your email, your text messaging, some websites. It was really one way. And then in the next phase, it got co-opted by the huge corporations, the Googles, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, all that data. Free product for us, but that data, it's us, the product, being sold to each other. That data is owned by those corporations. And here we are coming into the next phase of the internet, the next evolution. And the next fulfillment of the promise of internet, a more equitable, fair technology for everybody. So Web3, it's about, first and foremost, what exactly? Privacy? Some other ideas? What is Web3 about? Decentralization? Ooh, what would that be about? What else? Freedom, trust. Yeah? Crust, like crusty, crunchy. Trust. I would say trustlessness, actually. And what's trustlessness? What is trustlessness? That means we can conduct a transaction without having to trust each other. More importantly than so, without having an intermediary. An intermediary like a bank, exactly. An intermediary like a government, exactly. Why? Because Web3, blockchain, crypto, is the foundation of a technology that allows us to operate without any of those things. The third party, the bank, the government, the broker, for that matter, because blockchain and crypto allows us to write smart contracts where the code is public. Everybody can see it. Anybody can audit it. And we can trust the code that auto-executes. And we both know when it auto-executes. So we can have a transaction. I can buy a house from you, and you can trust me without an escrow, without a bank, without a broker in the middle. Okay, this is the whole premises about of Web3 and what is Web3. But I'm here to talk to you about community, because we are a community. We're a community of nomads. I was actually a nomad exactly 6.5 years ago. I was a nomad. I came to Tenerife, and here I am still. So I'm not much a nomad anymore. I'm definitely a remote worker. Why? Because Web3 is remote first. But me and my colleagues and friends that work in this space, and the ones that actually live here around the islands, we realized a few years ago, it's like, remote first is awesome. Our industry, we love it. We will never go back to an office or a corporate job. That's in the past for all of us in Web3. But we realized that we were missing an essential human connection. People in real life, with the same interests, with the same hobbies, more importantly, with the same ethos, the ethos of Web3, which is the decentralization, the trustlessness, that removal of the broker, that changing the system radically, that elimination of the government powers or the bank powers. And so we said, let's set off to actually build the ecosystem around us that we all need, that we all feel we need. And so we started this non-profit professional association in Tenerife and then expanded off to the archipelagos. And today we are over 300 in real life, but we are a remote first industry and association. So we still do a lot of things in real life, but our community has grown all over the world. So what do we do today? We focus on two things. We focus on networking events. So just like, and by the way, thank you to Nacho for being the reference point for nomads in the Canary Island. And thanks, Jay, for helping organize all of this. Wonderful guy. And we would like to become the point of reference for anything Web3, blockchain, crypto related in the Canary Islands. And I think we're well underway to become the point of reference because we're building the community that is first and foremost in real life, but also remote, digital, nomad. Because this industry is first and foremost remote, digital, and nomad. So two things we focus on, the networking, so events. We do meetup. Usually our meetups draw in 50, 60 people. And we do it all over the islands of Tenerife. We've done a couple in Gran Canaria. In September, we're going to start doing them in Lanzarote and in the other islands as well. We've done workshops. We've done initiation workshops. So if you don't know what Web3 is, what blockchain is, this is a technology that is not being talked about right now as much as it used to be a couple of years ago because we're an industry cycle. Today, all the hype, it's about, you just heard the talk, right? It's about AI, okay? But blockchain is going to change your life, whether you like it or not. It already is beginning to change your life, whether you know it or not. Just like AI is already integral part of your UIs. You will be seeing crypto coming into your life more and more because big interest, big companies are going to start bringing it to you. So if you do not know what crypto is, if you like to get initiated, or if you're already working Web 2, or work in a creative field, and you are thinking about, how can I maybe steer my career in that direction? Come to us. Well, not me, Steve. I'm Steve, by the way. But who I am is not important at all. What's important is the association. It's not important the numbers. It's not important what we've done. It's not important the definitions. None of this matters, right? None of it. None of it. That the Canary Islands are a point of reference for the nomads. There's a great intersection. It doesn't matter that when you... Yes, I skipped way ahead. It doesn't matter that you could double your salary from your current job or even triple it or quadruple it. These are some of the projects that we're working on. We've hosted the first and only Web3 conference in Tenerife last April 15. We hope to do the next, maybe in Gran Canaria next year. None of this matter. What matters, it's connecting, is the community, connecting in real life, as well as digitally, and connecting in a beautiful place like the Canary Islands. That's why we started this thing. And what matters is that this technology, whether you like it or not, is going to change your life. Get ready. Just like for AI. Get ready. Things are going to change. So here's how things have changed for us. And these are stale data. You can pretty much double all of this. Sorry, we're over 300 right now. And growing internationally as well. And we've been working on a few products and already. One of my lead products is actually a perpetual futures protocol and DEX. It's called Galleon. On our website, you'll find all the links to any of our projects or meetups or events. If you'd like to join us, or if you'd like to contribute, this is how you can help. We are always recruiting for community members. We're not a company. We don't hire. If you work on a project with us, we build it, we own it, you are co-owner in the project. We're not a corporation, we are a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. We have a way by which we organize in small tribes. We have processes that we follow, that we all agree on. We all have voting powers because we're all essentially stockholders. Only we don't call it stocks, we call it tokens. A token represents essentially a share or whatever project you're working on. Who we're looking for is developers, even Web2 developers or developers that are not yet into the world of Web3. This is a great gateway for you to get to know a community that is here, to get to know all the developers. Just yesterday, we were doing a 4-hour workshop for Web2 developers in Tenerife, in Spanish. By the way, the community is completely bilingual. We're looking for people that are not necessarily from the tech field either, right? Your point of entry could be very well from the creative aspect. No, I'm not talking about graphics or arts creation, unfortunately. You know, with AI, where that's going, right? It's a pretty difficult entry point. But when we're talking about content creation, we're talking about digital marketing, essentially. So creating good storylines, good narratives, carrying out those narratives, promoting a product. Yes, we use ChatGPT. It hasn't been one day in the last 6 months or so since ChatGPT came out that I haven't used ChatGPT myself, okay? But you probably know this. ChatGPT doesn't do the work for you. And especially when it comes to Web3, guys, or things that there isn't much literature about, ChatGPT has hallucinations. So when we're talking about Web3, super careful about asking things about ChatGPT. Ask GPT how an AMM works. Worse yet, ask ChatGPT how a virtual AMM works. It's a total BS what it comes back with. So anyway, so yes, we're looking for your help. We're looking for your participations. What we can offer, what we can give you a good entry into Web3. If you're already into Web3, a broader network, a broader understanding. We are networking, like I mentioned before, through events, through workshop. We're networking all the companies that work in tech and that are interested in working more in the Web3 space. We're working with professionally. We're mentoring professionals. Just in the last 6 months, we helped people, a variety of people, product manager, product owner, marketing manager, content creator, essentially change their lives, double their salary overnight. Because Web3, it's remote first, so it's remote friendly. It's remote first, it's better than remote friendly, right? But also, if you're awesome, it pays really, really, really well, right? If you can communicate well, it pays really, really well. So we are here in an association to, sort of to recruit you to this endeavor to foment the ecosystem in the Canary Island, to sway you, or at least to get a better understanding of Web3 as it's coming down the pipeline. It will change your life, whether you like it or not. In many cases, for the worse too. How many have heard of CBDCs? Perhaps I should do my next talk on just that, because whether you like it or not, pretty much every one of us is going to be subject to CBDCs sooner rather than later, because it's a way that government and central bank maintain control over all of us. So I would strongly recommend that each one of you get really informed about what a CBDC is. What best way to do it? Google it. Don't ChatGPT this stuff. Or, best yet, join an association like ours. Come to our Discord. Our Discord is super active. We have the news channels, chats of all sorts. We talk about AI. We're going to install our AI servers pretty soon because we like to tinker. We're technologists, first and foremost, right? It's an important distinction that I have to make. We're technologists, first and foremost. We are builders. That's why the association is called Web3 Island Makers. We're not maximalists. Who's familiar with the word maximalist? One person, so two person. Okay, let me explain that. In the world of crypto, there's a lot of hype. There was a lot of hype a few months back or a couple of years back because we were in a high cycle. Just like today, there's a lot of hype about AI. Everybody talks about AI. But the world of crypto, there's different tribes and there's different competencies because it's a technology that is accessible to everybody. Not like AI, guys. AI, who can build AI? It's only the mega corporations with the mega budgets, with the mega computers, right? We can all use it the way they like us to use it, right? So it's very different than Web3. Web3, everybody has access to it. Anybody that studies, learns how to do it, can actually deploy an entire blockchain, a payment system, their own token. We could all deploy our own token this afternoon in 5 minutes if you have your laptops in front of you. I can show you how. The point is that the two technologies are very different. They work very differently. Learn about CBDCs because they're coming down the pipeline and they're going to change your life forever. And one of the best ways is to associate with us, come to our servers, participate in our in-life meetings. We have meetups. Follow us on Meetup. And we have events for initiation. We have events for advanced people in marketing and or in development. This conference, we had an initiation to Web3. Yes? Is there a question? And we also had a workshop about actually deploying smart contracts and NFT in Solana. Very advanced one, right? And so we have courses that are all the way in between. And more often than none, our courses or workshops completely free, done in conjunction with the university and with companies in the Canary Islands. The next events that are coming up with for us, just after the summer in September, we'll have initiation to EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So anybody that knows a little bit of JavaScript or can code a little bit of an HTML website can immediately start actually coding smart contracts. And we're going to do a workshop for that in September in Tenerife. There's also going to be a repeat of the workshop for Solana, if you're interested in Solana. Solana is just a different blockchain, and we're going to focus on NFTs creations. And then in November, we're going to have another conference, and throughout the conferences, we're going to have lots and lots of events of this kind. So check us out and come and join us. If you're interested in this topic, or if you're interested in changing your career to this topic, or if you are ready to jump onto a project, we can get you working on a real project. Like I said, not as a dependent, not on a stipend, as a co-owner of that project. What does that mean? That means that you're a shareholder. You're a majority owner. You're the dueño. That means that if the project that makes money, you stand to make a lot of money. I'm not guaranteeing you that. I'm not promising you that. Okay? But I can guarantee you and I can promise you a journey of learning and networking and understanding and improving yourself in this specific sector, Web3, blockchain, crypto, if you join us. Any questions? Yes.
I would like to know your perception or perspective around the tech community in the Canary Islands, how it's evolving, how that can speed up the growth.
Awesome question, because we are also in an inflection point. We started our organization as a group of expats and in English. The truth is that to be successful in the Canary Islands, we need to be also integrated and include as much as possible the Spanish-speaking community, the local community, local resources, local partnerships, local government. It's crucial. Yes, things here move at a different place than mainland Europe or than United States. I'm from the United States, guys. So when I first came here, first I came to mainland Europe, and I had a little bit of a shock coming from the United States. And then I came to the Canary Islands, and I had to reset my expectations once more. But hey, I've been here 6.5 years. So there's the good and the bad, right? Fact is that things move a little slower here. What is brilliant, yesterday, we were doing this workshop I told you about with a company at the University of La Laguna. Per the company's request, all Web2 developers. A room full of 25 people, and on Zoom, they had another dozen people. Lean minds. Yeah. And we were doing an EVM initiation. So how do I see it? I see it super promising because I saw a room full of very young folks, very eager to get into it. We got into it that afternoon. That afternoon, each of them had their wallets, their tokens, NFTs minted. Lots of awesome questions. This was a room full of Web2 developers already used to do JavaScript, HTML, front end, somewhat, some back end as well. But the threshold to get into Web3 is not as big as you might think. It is from a technical standpoint, but the industry needs a lot of other expertises and skills. The creative, the marketing, the product ownership, the product management. It needs maturity because the industry is filled with kids, very young kids. They like to master that emerging technology because they can from their bedrooms and not even turn on their webcam very often, right? So they even lack those basic soft skills and basic communication skills. And that's where you guys come in. Being digital nomads, you already know how to sell yourself. You already know how to present yourself and communicate efficiently and effectively. And so that's a great entry point and opportunity for you. So I see it very brightly, but I see it as we need to keep it working at interconnecting and networking and integrating the expats and the local community. We cannot be excluded. We cannot do things separately because it's at the detriment of everybody. So if you can do things bilingually, if you can bring more people in the English world and vice versa, have more nomads or more expats integrate, that's also extremely positive. And also in the world of Web3, I mean, here from the Gran Canaria or Tenerife, the Canary Islands, it's a great springboard to create teams and access both the Anglo world and the Spanish-speaking world. And in Web3, in any technology, that split is still very evident, right? You have to work at crossing that chasm between the two cultures. Here in the Canary Islands, we are in the epicenter of the crossing of those continents, not just the continents, but literally the continents, really, the American continent too, and the European continent. We're really there in the center. We can access both cultures from here. We in Web3 Island Makers, for example, our projects, I work with people from California all the way in the States to India. And sometimes there's the occasional call with Hong Kong as well. And that's way out. Thank goodness I don't have Australia and New Zealand. Any other questions?
What is your business model?
What is the business model? Okay. For the non-profit professional association? Yes. Yes. So the business model for the non-profit professional association is to find a sustainability level, right? We're not looking to generate profit from the association. We're looking to generate profit from the project that the association incubates. So I probably forgot to tell you that. The association focuses on two things. I told you the networking. I didn't tell you the second part. Thank you for your question and reminding me of that. The second part is we focus on projects, on building Web3 projects. And one of these Web3 projects, for example, it's called Galleon, and it's a perpetual futures protocol and DEX, decentralized exchange. How does that make money? If we are successful in launching this, we're all co-owners in this, the protocol makes revenue charging a fee on the transaction, a very small fee. But the more volume the protocol generates, the more money the protocol makes and redistributes those fees automatically to the token holders. So the business model, it's project-based, not association-based. And whoever works on the product, any one of you could start if you have some qualifications and you can contribute meaningfully to any one of these projects. This is just one. It's the biggest one we're working on right now. You could start working on this tomorrow and start earning tokens based on how you contribute to the project. And if you're successfully launched in the December timeframe, the protocol starts making money. How? By taking a fee on the transactions volume, and then it redistributes those fees to the token holders. So you as an owner, a co-owner of the project, you receive tokens from the project. When the protocol makes money, you automatically get the fees redistributed to you. There is no middleman. There is no company that writes you a check or that sends you some money on some bank account. There is no bank account. All the value on a platform like this is moved with tokens. And then you are responsible, if you want to then change those tokens into fiat, for paying your taxes if and where or however you pay them or not. And as far as the non-profit association goes, right, we have members. We're going to start charging for the mid-level membership. The mid-level membership gives you special access, voting rights, access to the profits of the projects. So, yes, that's the path to sustainability. First year of operation, we've done lots of events. We've even done the first conference in the Canary Islands, Web3 Con Canaria. The website is up. You can see some photos and some of the content that we had. And we did charge ticket for that to cover some of the basic costs, not to profit on this. Obviously, if we're going to do it again, we're going to seek some sponsorship from the industry. Also because, and by the way, there's another entry point for any of you guys. If you are event organizer, you would like to help organize such conference, Web3 conferences are big money business. Just, I think today or yesterday, ETH Paris was ending. Anybody heard about ETH Paris? Yes. Huge event in Paris. One of the biggest one. The entire circuit of Web3 conference is huge. So if you'd like to join us and say, hey, I want a piece of that. I want to help organize Web3 Con Canaria 2024. Hey, there you go. We definitely have a job for you. But not a job that we write you a check. A job that we give you shares of the profits through the token as an owner of the project. The more responsibility you have in the project and the more time you put on the project, the more tokens you receive back. Any other questions? Shall we go on and come back to you?
What are your personal worries towards CBSCs?
What are my personal worries towards CBDCs? Okay, the short version, because I'm still the only guy standing here between you and your cocktail. The short version of CBDC is the government's and central bank's version, but it's more like a distortion of a digital currency. It's an absolute distortion. Why? Because a CBDC, it's programmatic money. What does that mean? That means that imagine your government, wherever you're from, tomorrow starts issuing, like in China. In China, actually, they did this. The digital yuan, it's already a thing. It's a CBDC. Guess what they can do in China with the CBDC? They can pay you your salary in CBDC. So you receive 10,000 yuan this month. And then they can say, you have to spend at least 5,000 yuan by the end of the month. And if you don't spend them, poof, they just disappear. Imagine how powerful could that be in a capitalistic economy, right? Or they could even say, here's your 10,000 yuan a month. And you want to go buy cigarettes. You buy cigarettes with your card and zoom. No, you cannot buy cigarettes because the government or that institution or that corporation has decided that those cigarettes, no good for you. CBDCs are coming whether you like it or not. Your central banks are going to be arms wide open to get them in as soon as possible. Your government too, because they are a form of control. Totalitarian control, guys. Totalitarian. Okay. Any other questions?
Where are you legally registered?
We're registered as a non-profit in Tenerife and Puerto de la Cruz, as a non-profit professional association. That is a legal base for the DAO. The DAO is a lot more people internationally, but the legal representation is in Tenerife and Puerto de la Cruz. Yeah. Other questions? Time's up. Thank you.